Hey guys, how are you doing tonight? Are you guys
Hey.
having a pretty good day?
Oh, I think you want to mute your YouTube. I can hear the echo, I think.
Oh, I don't have my YouTube on.
Oh, well, that's odd.
Yeah, I don't have any
Oh,
other.
there, it went away.
Okay, I was like, I don't have any other thing on. Hey guys, hey Jane and Ryan, how are you guys doing?
So I'm over on YouTube. Rochelle is over on YouTube. Hi, Rochelle.
Hey Lisa, Lisa's over there too.
Cool. Did you make it, Lisa? You said you had 100 pages today. I actually didn't make it. I am guilty of not finishing the book. This is the first time ever.
Yeah, what were you guys thinking of the book? Lisa put down in the polls on Crowdcast, what was your favorite short story? So there were 3 short stories, 12 Desserts of Christmas by Joanna Fluke, Nightmare on Elf Street by Laura Levine, and The Christmas Thief by Leslie Meyer. So those on over on YouTube, what was your favorite short story out of the 3 of them? I think my favorite, Ryan said Nightmare on Elf Street.
Oh, okay.
Rochelle said she did not finish the book either, but she did make one of the recipes. Yay!
Did you like the recipes, Rochelle? I don't know. I think Courtney and I were talking about, like, they sounded so good, but in reality, they did not taste that good.
Now, I will say the one that I made, the four types of cookie, or the 4 cookie, whatever it was called, I will say that it probably would have been better had I waited for them to cool, but I did not wait for them to cool. I cut in them anyway. The multiple choice bar cookies.
It had cereal in it, right?
Yes, so it had Frosted Flakes in it, which I love Frosted Flakes. So you would have thought that I'd have been perfectly fine with it. The thing that I had an issue with was the fact that, okay, so it had so with the multiple choice, it was like, here's a category, there were 4 categories, and then you chose one thing from each category to build. It was sort of like a cereal bar in a way. And I chose M&Ms. The M&Ms were not appealing out of the oven. Like, all of the color sort of drained into like the other things that were in it. And so it wasn't the prettiest thing to look at, like, at all. I was kind
of that.
I was bummed about it.
And that's, so if you had waited for it to cool, would it have been like less melty, you think?
I think it would have been less melty, but even pulling it out of the oven, it was still like the color was draining from the M&Ms. So instead, I probably would use chocolate chips, because then you get the melty chocolate, but you don't have to have the weird, because I mean, sometimes the way, like, the color of a food can make me off-putted by it. Like, I don't want it if it's a weird, like, pukey looking color.
Oh yeah, no one wants to eat pukey colored food.
Yeah. I loved how you did your recipes, though. How you chose 2 recipes and then you compared them to 2 other, like, baked, like the cupcakes. I really loved that idea. That was cool.
Oh yeah, I just tortured my friends. I was like, they're like, "Are we done yet?" I'm like, "No, we're gonna keep baking."
Not more.
Not done.
Let's see. So Lisa's favorite was The Christmas Thief. So was Helen Boyle's. Rachel Graves said that she made the chocolate chip cornflake cookies, but substituted regular chocolate chips, with espresso infused chocolate chips.
That sounds really good.
Sounds really good. And hello, Nat. How are you?
Hey, Natalie.
I will say, I am seeing that the first one was not anyone's favorite.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because so the cooking video or the baking video I did, I don't know if anyone commented on your baking skills, but someone was like, "We want to hear what you guys are saying." So I had my friends over last night and we did the, the Buffy the Vampire Slayer's food stirs.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So I ordered the donut baking kit. And so we made the donut baking kit together, and we literally just gossiped and chatted the whole time. So it's a 30-minute baking. We'll see if anyone likes listening to us just talk about stupid stuff. So, but I let the camera roll the whole time.
I love that. Yeah, I think that a lot of people would have preferred had I talked a little bit as I was baking, but I actually took all of the audio out and had me reading the book while I was doing the baking, because I mean, I read 2 of the chapters. Like, so I read the first chapter and then the chapter. I didn't want like the longest video known to mankind. Like, I was going to feel so bad if I also then narrated what I was baking. I was going to feel so bad for everyone.
I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, sometimes I think people sometimes listen to them like podcasts. So like they don't notice if it goes on because they're maybe in a car driving for 40 minutes.
Yes, that's true. I know that Nat used to listen to my videos on the way to work. So she wouldn't actually watch the video, but she'd listen to it. And I have had like 2 or 3 people in the past month reach out to me and ask me if I ever thought about doing a podcast. And I was like, I don't know. I've never really thought about doing a podcast for it.
You have a really good voice though. Like, I think you should do books, like audiobooks.
I think that would
pay a lot of money for your voice.
Yeah, I think that would be fun.
Yeah.
Sarah, hi Sarah. She finished the book, but did not make any of the recipes. She's new to this book club. Oh well, welcome. Hello.
Cool.
All right.
Where did you see Sarah? I didn't even see that comment
on YouTube. Sarah,
mine must come through slower. I must be watching it delayed.
Yeah, Sarah James. So I will put this out on there on the line. I hated the first story. Like, I was so ticked through the whole entire story. I sped read through that story. Like, I skipped huge chunks of it because I got so annoyed with the insta love, like how they had just had their very first night together, and then the kids are making the bet about how they're going to propose to each other and by the end of Christmas break. And I was just like, no, this is not realistic. One of the whole entire aspects of writing is you're supposed to, you know, make it more realistic for the reader. It broke my whole entire like viewpoint with the characters. I'll admit that.
Did anybody else? I mean, it sounds like nobody liked it. Did anyone else feel that strongly, like, opposed to it?
Yeah.
I didn't even read it. I'll be honest. I didn't even get to it. I was so behind this week. Lisa, tell it, Courtney. Yes.
Okay. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Like, I was super salty, and I was like, are you kidding me? I'm going to have to read this, because I was like, okay, I really like Hannah. Like, I love the murder. I was telling Lisa this. I love the Murder, She Baked movies. I have binge watched all of them. I love them so much, but I don't like the writing. I just can't do the writing.
Yeah, Ryan agreed with you. He said, I didn't like it either.
Yeah. Helen says she agrees. The insta love took her out of the story.
Yeah.
Natalie says, making out with a house full of kids, uncool.
Yeah, I feel like that's just creepy.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just like, I don't know, because I loved the idea of like the kids being taken care of over Christmas break, and then all of the ideas of all of those cool desserts. Like, that was really, really cool. But then they got all weird. I just can't do it. I can't do insta love. I'm like, you have to be realistic, man. You just have to be realistic.
Rachel, I couldn't get excited to read the first section. I read too many Hannah Swenson books at one time and got burnout.
Yeah. Sometimes you get that way with books. Is like, you binge read too many of them and you just need a break, like a detox.
Jane, okay, I had to come. Oh, you had to come back in. Well, I'm glad you're back in. Sometimes Crowdcast is weird, but we're glad you're here. Ryan, with the movies, I like those better than the books. Yeah, it's so weird because the movies are so great and so amazing. And plus, I love Alison Sweeney.
Yes, Alison Sweeney is fantastic.
Yeah.
So for those, I forgot I did not recap what the first story was because I just got salty with it. The first story was all about, it's supposed to be this couple who, well, it's not, they're not really a couple, they're teachers at this private school, and they are newly fallen in love with each other, and they get stuck with watching 6 kids over Christmas break at the private school. And these kids are very sad because, you know, they're not spending any time with their family. And so the main character, I don't even remember her name, the main character, Miss Jansen, Julie, calls her one of her best friends from high school was Hannah's sister. So she calls Hannah's sister and is like, is there any way we could have like these awesome, amazing desserts for these kids for the days that they're here? And so Hannah's like, yeah, I can totally do that. That's a great idea. And then it falls into the 6 kids, 3 girls and 3 boys, are seeing that the 2 teachers are falling in love with each other. They're watching them make out on the couch, like different things like that. And they make this bet. The girls said that they would, the one teacher, he would propose to Julie by the end of the Christmas break. And if that happened, that the boys had to do all of the girls' chores. And then the boys said, well, it's not going to happen. You have to do all of our chores. And the boys try and make it not happen by sending a fake email to the male teacher from Julie's supposed fiance. And he makes him really, really mad at Julie. And it was just very childish back and forth, and things that could have been fixed with adult communication that most relationships need to survive. And I was just like, you're going to, you know, try and fall in love and marry this woman, and you're letting something like this, she told you she's not actually engaged to anyone, you're then going to be like, yes, you are. And it was really, really stupid. I was not a fan. Not a fan. But that was the first one. Yeah.
All right, then. Rachel. Oh, Susan. Didn't have a chance to read the book this month. I have the book, but I guess I'll read the last 2 stories only. Yeah, I think that's what Courtney's saying. Skip the first story.
Yeah. I actually really liked the second 2. Lisa, do you want to explain what the second one was?
Yes.
Nightmare.
I did read the second one. I actually like Laura Levine. I've read some of her other books. So this was Nightmare on Elm Street, and it was a little weird because it was told in second person POV. So sometimes it like talks right at you like Deadpool. Mm-hmm. So that was fun. But so there is basically the main character is a copywriter. So she wants to do advertising. Her name is Jane Austen, but it's spelled like incorrectly, Jaine. So anyway, so she really wants to get a copywriting job at the mall. Her neighbor, who's like this flamboyant guy who gets her the interview. He's a shoe salesman at Neiman Marcus. And so he gets her the interview, and the HR woman is like, you know what? Maybe, she's like, what I really need is I need someone to dress up as an elf to help out at the mall for the Christmas season because I'm short an elf. And she's like, okay, if you do that for me, then I will probably look at your copywriting resume. Mm-hmm. So she agrees to take this job. And while she's there, her coworker is another elf who's like super beautiful and thin. And so, but she seems pretty nice. And so she has there's 2 Santas. So there's the nice Santa and the mean Santa. So the mean Santa is Scotty, and he's the one that ends up being murdered. But it takes a while. He does get murdered till like chapter 7 or 8. And like forever, I'm like, is this a mystery? Oh, yeah. What are we doing?
Well, is it a short story mystery?
Yeah. So there wasn't a lot of investigating, but basically he's just this horrible, like mean guy. And there's a security guard, and his name is Corky. And he's always calling, I'm not sure if it's a him or her, but he's always calling it's a her. He's always calling Corky Porky because he's fat, and cow, like just these mean things. Right. So then eventually when he gets murdered, you're not really sad because he's like this mean guy. Plus he's dating the HR woman. He's always like getting drunk at work, even though he's Santa, he's mean to the kids. And then you find out he's dating the HR woman, and that's why he never gets fired. And then he gets caught making out with her coworker, Gigi, who she's like, sorry. When he gets caught, he's like, we're in love. So see you, bye. It was very odd. So
very awkward.
Right. And so, anyway, so they go ahead and break up. And so the HR person's mad. And then the nice Santa suggests to her that she could use this other guy to do her photos. He works there in the mall. And so she really wants a picture of her cat. And so it's one of those cats, just like that other book where I was saying, where the cat is kind of acrimonious and not very friendly. And the cat has like inner thoughts that are kind of mean. So the cat's not really a friendly cat. And so the cat gets there though, and this guy's calling himself the cat whisperer. So he's cooing to the cat. He puts these cute little, reindeer antlers on the cat. And then all of a sudden somebody walks in with a corn dog, like a little boy in a stroller. So the cat goes crazy, goes after the corn dog, and then runs into the mall. She chases after the cat, and there's like chaos, right? From this cat in the mall and on the trees, and everyone's trying to stop the cat. And then this old lady's like, I think that's a bat. And so all of a sudden, when everything's said and done, the mean Santa, Scotty, is dead. He's been like stabbed with a Christmas ornament. So now everybody that was in that vicinity is a suspect, and she really wants to go home for Christmas. So she starts investigating so she can help close the case so she can get home. So anyways, she's trying to investigate. We've come to find out that the HR person was dating that cat whisperer pet photographer, and they broke up because she started dating the mean Santa. And so maybe he did it. Plus he has all these ornaments that are super spiky. And I'll sum it up. Basically, we go through all of this, and then finally she ends up seeing the red scarf that the old lady was wearing. And it was the nice Santa who killed the mean Santa, because he was calling him a phony. And he really was a phony because he was taking money for charity for toys for children. But instead, he would take the toys and then sell them on eBay and not give them to the children. And so somehow mean Santa had found out, which was kind of surprising because mean Santa was pretty much always drunk and he had 2 girlfriends, but somehow he was able to find out his.
He was smart enough to figure that out.
Yeah, I didn't. So that was kind of a surprise, but otherwise it was really entertaining. I think the reason people liked it isn't because of the mystery. It's because there were 2 side stories going on. One with her flamboyant neighbor with this pet parrot that he wanted to give as a present to some guy he had a crush on at the office who was a secret Santa. And then there was another side story where she had a crush on her high school, like crush came back into the mall and invited her to his Christmas party. She goes there, it's a disaster, and he has a fiance anyway, but she ends up getting her first copywriting gig for LA Magazine from that because he introduces her to her and he asks her on a date. So it had a happy ending.
Yes. And I actually really, really wished that was a whole book. I feel like they could have done like brilliantly with all of the characters and I just really wished that it was, since the murder didn't happen until halfway through the story, over halfway through the story, I felt kind of like something was taken from me because everything else went so fast. Like, yeah, I will legit say, I did not know the whodunit. I did not think that it was going to be nice Santa because I thought it was going to be Gigi, the elf, who originally went to high school with Scotty, and Scotty made fun of her for being fat and basically did like a Carrie move and asked her out to prom and then just stood her up. And I really thought that it could have been a whole book and I would have read it. Like, I'm actually excited to pick up that series, the Jane Austen series. I think that would be really good.
And there was a really funny part where she had a dream one night where the old lady, who obviously is the good Santa, comes to her in her dream and is named Hazel, and she's her fairy godmother, and is like, this is what would happen. Because she's like so annoyed at her cat, and that she's like, I wish I had never gotten you. And so the fairy godmother shows her that her life would be sad without the cat. But in the end, the funny part is the cat would have been adopted by some super rich person.
Oh, yeah, no, that cat would have been so bougie.
Yeah.
That cat would have been living a better life.
Yeah, the cat had its own bedroom. I mean,
yeah, it was legit. It was absolutely legit. But
Yeah.
I mean, I personally really enjoyed that one. Was my favorite out of the three, mostly because I really did feel like it could have been its own novel, and I would have been just as happy with that one.
Yeah, I think she did a good job of like making interesting characters and funny little like side stories. And then, yeah, so you kind of felt cheated because all of a sudden I think she wrote the book, and then after the murder, she was like, oh my God, it's supposed to be a short story. I have to like finish this really quickly.
But I will say that sometimes reading books like this, like I've read Joanne Fluke before, but I've never read Laura Levine, and I've never read Leslie Meyer. I will now pick up Laura Levine's series on Jane Austen just because of that short story, because I really enjoyed it and I'm excited for it.
So yeah, I've read both of them, and it's just because their other books had really cute covers. I know this is like a terrible way to pick a book, but like, I'm like, this is a cute cover. I will try this out. Ryan, I think I'll pick up the first book in the series. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be cute.
Yeah, no, it looks really, really good. So the third one is called The Christmas Thief, and I'll say that it's my second favorite out of all of them. Elizabeth Stone she's moved from Tinker Cove, and she's now working in like this fancy smancy sort of hotel in Florida, and she's really, really excited to go back home for Christmas. Like that is her main goal. Her vacation's about to come up, and she's super stoked to go home where it's snowing and it actually feels like Christmas. Because I mean, here in Oklahoma, I get that. It does not feel like Christmas here. It is like, no, it just doesn't. And I want snow too. So I get her. She's super excited. But then the management all calls like an all staff faculty meeting and tells everyone that this big wig, I don't remember his name, this big wig guy,
Jonah Gruber.
Yes, Jonah Gruber, who's like a multi-billionaire, is renting out the hotel and all 600 rooms for 4 days because he wants to show off his wife's $45 million necklace, ring, and bracelet combo with diamonds and emeralds and everything like that. And they're doing like this big bingle bangle hall like ball thing, and that all employees, their vacation time, everything is canceled. So Elizabeth is really, really sad that she's not going to be able to go home. But there's something that's a positive in that. One of the assistant concierge had ended up having, I said, wasn't it Epstein-Barr? She had like Epstein-Barr, which makes her sick for a few weeks. And so they said that they've been watching Elizabeth and her work ethic. And so they give her a promotion to assistant concierge, which means a whole plethora of hours that she has to work to get ready for this party. There's a mean party planner. She has to deal with all of these ritzy folks. And she actually, her friend Tony isn't it Tony?
Tony, yeah.
Yeah, that was not a friend, but
it was like a frenemy.
Yeah, 100%. Her frenemy is like, it seems like she's excited for her, but mostly to see what Elizabeth can get for her from her new position. And Elizabeth also meets a very handsome guy and who comes up to her and asks for some bike help. She sends him to the hotel's bike fixing place, and then she goes on a couple of dates with him. I think Tony seems really jealous and is trying to get Elizabeth to not be as excited about her date as possible. She's saying that he's a fake, he's a phony, he's trying to pretend to be a real Kennedy and he's not. And all of these rich people are coming in. Finally, the Jules arrive, as well as the wife and the husband. They all arrive, and Elizabeth has to go up with the planner, the photographer, and the wife to get the photography session over with the Jules. And this girl just strips down naked right in front of everyone, and it was okay because she was a Playboy model. And she takes all the pictures. There's some hubbub about trying to find the key to lock up all of the jewels. And basically in the hubbub, the photographer and the wedding planner end up stealing the jewels. But no one knows this. They believe that it's Elizabeth's fault. And so they start putting Elizabeth under scrutiny and telling her not to leave town, to get a lawyer. Her mom and her mom's friend, I think it was her friend, it wasn't her grandma, though she was like 90 years old, Miss Tilly, she comes to sort of help clear her name. And we find out that the guy that she did fall in love with wasn't a real Kennedy, like the president, but was a investigator for the insurance on the jewels. And it was a cute little mystery that was tied up pretty well. But I was not a fan of Tony. I thought that she was hateful because then she started dropping hints on, well, Elizabeth did this and Elizabeth did this, and Tony ends up trying to take Elizabeth's job and everything like that. And it was ridiculous. I did not like Tony. If I could like flick her in the nose, I would. Like, she's just not a nice person. But I really did. I liked it overall. I thought that it was a good short mystery. Like, out of all three of the short stories, I would 100% say that one was the most short story-esque out of the rest of them. I don't know how the rest of you guys feel, but I feel like that one it was mostly wrapped up pretty well in the amount of pages she had to finish it.
Well, I think the thing with Tony she was obviously, like, she did a good job of setting her up. She was like boy crazy, right? Like, the first thing I look at is for the ring. And she's like, tell me all the people who are rich or not rich, right? And she's always asking her about her dates with Chris. And then she has a super crush on Merton Paul. She tells her waiter to get that special Tears of the Llama shampoo or whatever bubble bath that he wanted. And then she's like, all you have to do for me is let me deliver it to his room. And then she forgot. So I do kind of feel sorry for her because, like, as her friend, she should have known, like, this is a boy crazy woman and she has a huge crush, and like, she's just asked me for one favor. So I guess I could kind of see where she was upset. I mean, she went way out of proportion, but
she's like, you'll regret this. I'll get you back. And I'm like, girl, hold on. It's not a big deal. Chill, man. It's okay.
Hate to see what happens if a guy did anything to her.
Right? Like, I mean, his car would not look the same.
Yeah. Natalie, I had issues with the frenemy, tired of characters that will backstab to get what they want, but maybe just me at the moment. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of the backstabby person who's fake to your face and mean behind you. Like, because she legit, like, was dropping shadows of doubt about Elizabeth and, you know, her relationship with Kennedy and everything like that. Like, I was just like, you're just not a good person. You don't have a good heart.
She went on a crazy 180.
Yeah, like, because at first it just seemed like she was boy crazy, and I was like, okay, yeah. I don't get that, but okay, like, that's fine. But then she went straight into, I'm gonna do extreme horrible revenge kind of.
It just seemed crazy. Like, she could have just been like, you owe me dinner now, like,
yeah,
screwed up my thing, or find another way
near that guy or whatever.
Yeah, like, or find another excuse for me to go talk to that guy or something.
Exactly, like something rational, but
yeah.
Apparently not.
Ryan, Tony wasn't a good person, I agree. Ryan, you've switched over to YouTube. Lisa, I agree. The third one was my favorite mystery. Sarah, I like the third story best too. Natalie, I didn't see it as a crush, but gold digging. Oh, yeah. She had standards.
Yeah, she did.
Yep.
I loved
it. Yeah, there was a comment where she was like, I don't want to date the garbage man.
Yeah. Yeah. But I loved Miss Tilly. I thought that she was a feisty old lady. And you guys know how much I love me and my feisty old ladies. I want to be one when I grow up. So I think I'm well on my way of being a feisty old lady.
Miss Tilly was my favorite character, Helen and Lisa. Cool.
So I gave the book overall 3 stars, but if I had to give them like individual stars, I'd say like 2, 4, and then like a 3 is how I would do it. 2, 4, and 3.
Okay.
3 for me is not bad. 3 is a good average cozy. So 3 isn't bad for me. 4 is you've made me like the characters enough to really go and find the next book in the series.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it only goes up to 4, so there's not a 5.
Okay. Yeah, I give 5 stars on Goodreads just because that's what they allow you to do.
That's their system.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm super excited that there's so much baking. I was telling Courtney, I have a, because the baking video I did a lot of music and then you couldn't hear what we were saying because we were just doing so much talking. So there's a video coming on Monday where it's no joke, 30 minutes of baking where we're just talking. So you can hear all of us talking, what we gossip about. And yeah, could be boring. I don't know. You asked for it. So we'll see.
Yeah, you guys go watch it. Everything tomorrow, our picks for January videos are coming out. So they're dropping at 6 a.m., right?
Yeah, 6 a.m. Central Standard Time.
Yep, so 6 a.m. Central Standard Time on both of our channels. We've got both of our picks. January, February, and March are all like baking, cooking themes, right?
No, only December, January, and February.
December, January.
So they get to vote January and February.
Yeah. So should be pretty cool. Lisa said in order, overall, she gave 3 stars. In order, 2 stars for the first one, 3 stars for the second one, and 4 stars for the third one.
Cool.
Very nice.
Yes, love baking videos. Good. Because I love baking. In fact, if we could just talk about baking cozies for all year, that would be great.
I mean, there are enough baking cozies to have a year of baking cozy books. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to lie. And I've read quite a few of them because I love them.
Although I saw, tomorrow is National Cupcake Day.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely going to bake some cupcakes.
Well, as you should. 100%.
Yeah. My favorite cupcakes, though, are Baked by Melissa in New York, which I'm happy to share. You can now order on Amazon Prime. So they just get delivered right to your house, even though they're refrigerated.
That's cool.
Yeah, because usually you have to pay $20 for FedEx, but now they're free. Jane. Hey, on a side note, did anyone see my post on Instagram? I hashtag Cozy and Ellery Adams. I'm so new to Instagram. I didn't see it, but I actually haven't been on social a lot lately. What was it, Jane?
What is your username or your handle on Instagram? And I will go and check.
Lisa, I'm baking a chocolate fudge brownie cake for Christmas. That sounds delicious.
Oh my goodness. All of your food that you post, I just wish I just lived at your house. Because I eat so well at your house.
Right. I just finished the quiche and the
what? The quiche and the what? Now I'm on the edge of my seat right now.
The quiche and the Lisa. Thank you, Courtney. The quiche and the dead. Yeah, you told me about that. Yes.
Very cool. Yeah, I've been reading on my Kindle a lot. Like I was telling Lisa earlier, and I recently finished, they're on Kindle Unlimited, and they're freaking adorable. They're called where is it? It's the Coffee Coven Capers Mysteries by M.Z. Andrews. The first one's called That Old Witch, and then it goes That Crazy Witch, and right now I'm reading the third one, and I'm really enjoying them. Their covers are freaking adorable. Like, it's just these old witches, these old ladies that are finally reconnected after a year. Like, decades of estrangement over one event that happened, and they're witches and they don't use their magic very much anymore, and it's just it's hilarious and I love it.
That's cute. We have magical cozies coming up, I think, in a couple months in March. Isn't that the spring one that we have? I think it's magical.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
Jane, she did the
I found it
with
Here, I'll share it.
The teacup. That's so cool. I love it, Jane.
Can you guys see it?
Yes.
She's the one that won. That teacup is so cute. It looks really, you can never get rid of the book now. It goes with the teacup.
They are tied together.
Yep.
100%. Oh, I love it. So good. And Jane, you can also tag both Lisa and I in the picture if you want to make sure that we see it. I'm really bad at following hashtags. So, but if you tag at Courtagonist or at Lisa Latte Books on Instagram, we will be instantly notified that we're tagged in something, and we'll go and we'll be able to see it easily.
I don't follow, do you follow, I follow hashtags of like, silly things like chocolate, kittens, cute puppies.
Yeah. Like cozy mystery ones I do, but they'll just show me like a highlighted version of the cozy mystery. Like they don't show me everything that has been tagged with that. You read Cobblered to Death by Rose Marie Ross. I hope it was good.
Oh, Kristen Weiss. I think I've heard of her. She I think she writes a ton of books.
Yeah.
Like she's very prolific.
I know that this is a shorter live stream than normal, but I don't want to keep everyone forever on here. And since they were all like really short stories, I think it's fair if this isn't like an hour long or our normal like hour and 20-minute live stream. Does anybody have anything that they want to talk about or any questions that you have before we end the live stream? Make sure that you guys check out our videos for tomorrow and then go and vote on our, I think I'll have it posted on my YouTube and on our Facebook and Twitter. Yeah. So those are the places that you'll be able to go and vote for the 4 books that we have.
And we'll announce it. I mean, we're going to chat again, like in just a few days, this Wednesday, on the 18th.
We'll live stream on Wednesday on Lisa's channel.
So we'll announce the book and we'll talk about Secret Santa. We'll talk about Christmas plans and cupcakes that we ate tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. All the good stuff. I've got chocolate orange right here that I'm super excited to nibble on.
Yum. So
good.
Michelle, happy holidays. Lisa, happy holidays. Ryan, good night. All right.
Looks
like everyone's signing off.
Bye. I hope you have a good night.
Bye, everyone.